The courtroom was packed, not with people in black robes, but with a strange silence. Today, on May 26, 2025, was no ordinary day. Judge Gaia, her face stern like ancient mountains, presided. Humanity, a nervous figure, stood in the dock, fidgeting. They looked around, eyes wide with a mix of fear and confusion. This was not a court they had ever imagined existing. The air itself seemed to crackle with an unspoken tension, a feeling that something very big was about to happen. This was the trial of the century, or perhaps the trial of all millennia, where the very elements of nature were the accusers. The charge was serious, very serious indeed. Gross negligence and willful destruction of planet Earth. Humanity gulped, a collective sound like dry leaves rustling. Who were the plaintiffs, you ask? Well, they were all around. A wise old banyan tree stood as the first witness, its aerial roots like flowing beards of an ancient sage. Next to it shimmered a formless entity representing water, sometimes clear, sometimes murky with unshed tears of pollution. An amalgamation of animal voices echoed, a low growl mixed with a sorrowful chirp. And finally, the invisible but ever-present air who promised to make its presence felt. What a scene it was, truly. The prosecutor, a sharp gust of wind, began the proceedings with a whoosh. "Your Honor," it whistled, "we are here today because we can no longer stay silent. For centuries we have given, and humanity has only taken. They have forgotten the sacred balance, the delicate dance of life. They have treated our home, their only home, like a dustbin, like a never-ending resource. They seem to believe they exist outside of nature, not as a part of it. This madness must stop, now!" The words echoed, leaving humanity looking even smaller. Humanity's lawyer, a young idealist named Asha, meaning hope, looked pale but determined. She knew the evidence was overwhelming. How could she defend the indefensible actions of her entire species? Yet she also believed in the potential for change, for redemption. She whispered to humanity, "We must listen. We must truly listen this time. There is no other way out of this mess we have created for ourselves and for everyone else who shares this planet. Our future, and theirs, depends on how we respond to these grave charges today. Right here, right now."
Your Honor, I have stood for centuries providing shade, shelter and clean air. I have seen generations of humans play under my canopy, but now they come with axes and machines. They call it development, but what I see is destruction. They cut down my children, my brothers and sisters without a second thought, leaving the land barren and the animals homeless. They forget that when they cut us, they cut their own lifeline, their own breath.
Grandfather Root continued, its voice filled with a deep sorrow.
They say they need space for their ever-growing numbers, for their concrete jungles. But where will the birds nest? Where will the soil get its strength? They crave oxygen, yet they destroy the very beings that provide it so freely. I have seen forests, vast and green, turn into deserts before my very eyes. They even have the audacity to put up signboards on my remaining kin saying, "Do not urinate here," while they poison the soil around our roots with their chemical waste. Is this justice? Is this wisdom?
I am life, but they treat me like a sewer. My rivers, once pure enough for gods to bathe in, are now choked with their filth, their plastics, their chemicals. They throw everything into me, their forgotten idols, their factory poisons, their everyday rubbish. Gangama, Yamuna, all my sisters cry. The fish gasp for breath, the dolphins disappear. They fight over me, build dams, divert my course, thinking they can control me, own me. They forget that I am a cycle, a gift meant for all.
Water's form swirled, showing images of plastic islands floating in oceans.
They drill deep into the earth, pulling out my ancient reserves, wasting it as if it is endless. Their cities leak, their taps drip, their fields are flooded with precious fresh water that then runs off, wasted. And the oceans, my vast heart, they fill it with so much plastic that soon there might be more plastic than fish. They cry when floods come, they despair when droughts hit, but they refuse to see their own hand in creating these calamities. They must understand, if I perish, they perish. It is as simple as that, no?
Our homes, they are gone. The forests are shrinking, the grasslands vanishing. We are hunted for our skin, our bones, our horns, just for their greed and their silly trinkets. They call it sport, we call it murder. My cousins, the rhinos, the elephants, they walk in fear. Many of our brethren are now just pictures in books, stories for children. Is this the legacy humanity wants to leave behind? A silent, empty world?
I'm supposed to be the breath of life, but they have made me a carrier of disease. Their factories, their cars, their burning fields, they pump endless poison into me. In their big cities, children struggle to breathe. The sky, once a brilliant blue, is often a hazy brown or grey. They talk about air quality index as if it's a game score, forgetting that behind those numbers are real lungs, real lives, suffering. I carry their pollution across continents. Acid rain falls from me, harming forests and waters far away.
Air swirled, becoming colder.
And what about the climate? They fill me with greenhouse gases, trapping heat, making the planet warmer. The ice caps melt, the seas rise, the weather becomes wild and unpredictable. Storms become stronger, droughts last longer. They know this. Their scientists tell them again and again, yet they continue, chasing short-term profits while sacrificing the long-term health of the planet and their own future. They are suffocating themselves, and they are taking all of us down with them. How can they be so blind, so very blind to this simple truth?
Judge Gaia, after listening patiently to all the testimonies, finally spoke. Her voice was like the rumbling of the earth, powerful yet tinged with sorrow.
Narrator. Humanity, she said. The evidence is overwhelming. You have harmed your fellow beings, your home, and yourselves. The anger and pain you have heard today are real. You stand accused, and indeed you seem guilty. However, this court is not just about punishment, it is about restoration, about finding a way forward. The question now is, what will you do? Will you continue on this path of destruction, or will you choose a different way, a better way?
Asha, humanity's lawyer, stepped forward, her voice clear despite the gravity of the moment.
Your Honor, esteemed members of nature, humanity has listened. We have heard the pain, the anger, the despair, and we are ashamed, deeply ashamed. For too long we have been deaf and blind. We took without gratitude, we consumed without thought. But please, believe me when I say, not all of us are lost. There is a growing awareness, a deep desire for change, especially among the young. We understand that we are not separate from nature, but a part of it. We are ready to make amends if you will show us the way.
A small child from the humanity group then spoke, her voice innocent but firm.
We can plant trees, lots of trees. My teacher told me trees are our friends. We can stop throwing plastic in the rivers. We can tell our parents to use cloth bags. We can save water when we brush our teeth, and turn off the lights when we leave a room. Small things, nah? But if everyone does them, it will make a big difference. We promise to try, really try. We want our animal friends to have homes, and we want to breathe clean air and drink clean water too.
Judge Gaia smiled faintly, a ray of sunshine breaking through clouds. Indeed, little one, it is the small actions, done by billions, that can heal the world. Plant a tree, save a drop of water, refuse single-use plastic, walk or cycle when you can, raise your voice for those who cannot speak. Educate yourselves and others. Demand change from your leaders. The path to harmony is not easy, but it is possible. The future is not yet written. It is in your hands. Let this day, May 26, 2025, be the day humanity truly began to change. Court is adjourned, but the work begins now.